Well, I knew there was going to be some kind of a pushback, definitely. One game later than I thought it was, but Anaheim definitely pushed back. But that definitely wasn't a dominating performance by any means. It's hard to go into someone else's building and dominate, but they started out very well. You know, those 3 goals, and then Oilers just answered back like with 3 of their own. That was pretty crazy. I was surprised, and I do apologize for this video coming out today and not last night. I don't know. I think there's some sort of weird flu going around that I was just, you know, I'm sure you guys don't even want to hear it, but I was puking my guts out last night. Like, it was terrible. So anyway, obviously couldn't record anything. I still don't feel the greatest today, but getting it done. Anyway, there's, where was I? Okay, yeah. So the 3-3, 2 of those goals, the deflection, that was a good play. Close to the high stick. I was almost convinced that was a high stick, but, you know, according to Toronto and the refs, it wasn't. So, good goal. And then that other one that bounced up and over Gibson. That's unfortunate, but again, lucky bounce is what you need sometimes. And then, what can you say about that McDavid snipe besides freaking McJesus, man? That was a sexy shot, sexy move to separate himself from the defense. And, oh man, long and storied career in the works for him, for sure. And, but, you know, Anaheim came back to 3 more goals, so it was pretty crazy. 3 goals. And then, of course, we'll have to get on the topic, since I did touch up about the potential high stick. Let's talk about the potential offsides. Now, it reminded me a little bit of in the regular season, I think it was the Avs versus the Wild, where that one was a lot worse. It looked completely blatantly offsides, but they didn't see the puck, even though you could kind of assess that where his stick was, the puck wasn't across the blue line yet, and it should have been called an offsides. In this case, it was similar, but a lot closer, where it could have been, yeah, he could have had that puck onside. Now, in this case, the call on the ice was a good goal, no offsides. That's what the refs saw. When you slow it down, it looks like his skate could have been off that blue line by the time the puck crossed the blue line itself. The problem with that is you cannot confirm both at the same time with any of the angles they said. So even if the puck crosses the blue line after his skate does, if you do not have the visual evidence, you can't overturn the call, and that's And in that way, it is the right call. For me, I thought it was going to be called back. It looked like this, but then again, this is the NHL, and this year we're talking about there's been a lot of seemingly blown calls. But I mean, for us, when we're watching something, we assume, sometimes people assume what happens by what it looks like before and after, without having the exact moment that something does happen. And that's just a human psychology thing. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing to have, but when you're looking at something like that, objectively or not, there's always going to be some sort of a bias to what you initially thought it was when you first get the look of it. I thought it was going to be offsides. I'm like, they're probably, you got to call that offsides for sure, because even though you may not have the visual evidence, it looks like he was clearly offsides. But again, you have to have the exact visual evidence for that. And I didn't see. If you guys saw it, if you have more video evidence that I could check out, I'd love to check it out. But yeah, as I looked back again, today, it was just the moment that it happens, it's way too close to call, and you don't have the visual evidence of his skate off the line before really the puck, that you can see the puck crossing the line. So it's tough to call, but in the end, they technically did make the right call, because when there's not enough foolproof evidence to reverse the call, it's answered. It doesn't matter anyway. The Ducks got another goal. They're still going to be up by 2 rather than 3, so they get the W anyway. You can claim that, the momentum shift, blah, blah, blah. The momentum is dead once you call the challenge anyway, and that's why the league wants to look at putting more punishment for failed challenges. Like they're thinking about, delay of game penalties and stuff like that, which I'm almost kind of partial to. It does kind of make sense. You score that goal, you're feeling good, your blood gets pumping, everyone gets that slight burst of energy. All of a sudden, someone's like, "Nah, fam, let's wait about 5 minutes for them to figure it out." Your momentum's gone, and the energy from that goal is gone, even if you get the goal. So, could be cool. I like that there's challenges now in the NHL that definitely, it's definitely a good thing like that. But at the same time, yeah, maybe losing the timeout isn't a harsh enough punishment just for doing the challenge thing. Maybe there's cases where people are starting to challenge things, even if it's slightly close, just to take away that momentum thing I was talking about. I don't know. Anyway, that's the story for another time. Back to the game. Gibson, that 3-on-1 save, filthy 3-on-1 save. I was like, oh, here's a goal. Nope, Gibson, nope. That was pretty good. And Talbot, that glove side needs work. That was the same side that the Sharks exploited in game number 4 when they won 7-0, was that glove side. So Talbot went from being freaking superhuman to being a sieve yet again. Not completely a sieve. I'll give him some credit. He did face, a lot of good chances, but in the last game he faced a lot of good chances and he was able to shut the door. So a bit inconsistent from Talbot, but I mean, it's the playoffs, anything can happen. I am judging him very harshly, just on the sole purpose that so many people are heralding him as one of the next elite goalies. And so if he's gonna try to be that one, he needs to be judged like one of them. Man, when you look when Lundqvist or Carey Price has a bad game, they get reamed, man. So yeah, I mean, but the Ducks were gonna come back, but good on the Oilers for keeping it relatively close. Coming back from 3-goal deficit, that's hard to do. Very hard to do. So definitely you got that to take away from it. Don't let Anaheim tie this series up in your building. I have a feeling they will, but if you do that, Oilers, you are in trouble because then they're going back home with a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence. So, you got to be careful. I would say next game for the Oilers is almost a must-win. Same thing for the Ducks. The next game at this point is a must-win. You want to even that series up or you want to take the 2-game lead because giving the Ducks an even series going back home, that spells trouble. It really does. So, yeah. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still feeling a little bit like shit. I don't know if I'll be able to record any normal videos today either. Maybe be able to get GM mode done or something. I don't know. Right now, I just got to go try to eat some soup or something like that. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll see you next time.